When going for platinums in games, you're either required to do challenges or specific things to earn a trophy, like gathering collectibles or finishing the story in the hardest difficulty. However, some of these are not that great to do, so here's the trophies I dislike in platinums.
Okay, let's go.
The first one is the Missable Trophy. If you don't know what this is, it's one that only attainable at a single point in the game. It cannot be unlocked at any time, so if you missed a chance to unlock it, you'll probably have to restart the whole story again. Now the feeling that you get in relation to just missing a Missable Trophy is one of frustration, anger and sadness, because you have to spend more time trying to get back to the point you were, and in some cases you might lose motivation to even platinum the game anymore. One example of a platinum that I have where there's loads of missable trophies is God of War 3 Remastered. In total there's 12 trophies you can miss in the game. It covers collectibles, doing combat related stuff and beating a room without dying once. That may sound like a tall task to do, but there's many ways you can complete this easily. The first one is have saves throughout the whole story where if you miss anything you can go back to the save point. In the case for God of War 3 there's many save points you can use. Secondly, you can have a guide for playing through the game as well, just to tell you where to go and how to unlock the trophy. Overall I've mixed feelings about missable trophies as they can be a pain in the ass to do, especially when there's a bunch of them, but at the same time if there's one or two it's not that difficult to complete in all honesty. The next one is online trophies. I don't really like these, most of the time they're really grindy to do, and I mean really grindy, where it might take you tens of hours to complete it. Usually these trophies consist of making you get to a certain level or get to a specific amount of kills with a weapon. Right now I'm going for a GTA 5 platinum. Part of that you have to play the online mode. These trophies are extremely grindy and long to complete. So far I have 14 trophies, it took me 41 hours, plus it's not even done yet. I still have to get to level 100 and get 30 platinum awards, where it took me around 20 hours to do. One of the problems with multiplayer trophies is that you have to play with other players, which can be a good thing or a bad thing. It just depends on the game you're playing. For example, Wreckfest, where it requires you to win 20 events online. This is the hardest thing in the game since nobody plays the online mode, so the only way to achieve it is to boost for a friend. Majority of the time I dislike multiplayer trophies as they're really grindy and tedious. Also the games that platinum have a dead multiplayer so nobody plays it. The only time I like doing online trophies is when they're simple to do and I can do it with somebody to get it out of the way. The next trophy is replaying the story multiple times. In the surface level this doesn't look bad to do, in most cases it's not, but it depends on the platinum you're doing. It might require you to replay the story in the hardest difficulty since you couldn't do it when you first playing the game, or you got to replay missions to get collectibles. Replaying missions are a big issue to me. It usually occurs when I'm playing Call of Duty games since for some reason I don't pick up collectibles during my playthrough unless I see them, but I do have to say it gets really boring and dumb after a while, so I wouldn't recommend doing this. However, the problems start when you have to replay the story for a second time, and in most cases there's a challenge that goes along with it, like completing the story without dying once, also known as permadeath. If you don't know what permadeath is, it's basically a mechanic in the game where if you die once during the story you have to restart the whole game from the start, since any checkpoints or saves you can use, and you probably have to do this all in one sitting as well. One game that I platinum were required to complete a permadeath run is Wolfenstein New Colossus. Now by far this is my biggest challenge I've ever done with trophy hunting. It's not only cannot die once, but the difficulty is also set to the hardest in the game, so you die for it quickly if you're not careful. Another small issue I have with playing a story is when you have to somewhat play through a second time, like what Dead Island makes you do, where you have to complete Act 1 of all 4 characters in the game. This is really grindy to do, so overall it takes around an hour for each character to get to Act 2, and it could take longer if you're not good at the game. For me it didn't take that long, 3 of the 4 characters when you finish in the first act, so I didn't really need to grind that long to achieve it, which was nice to do. But when it's done right though, it doesn't give you a challenge, it's not that bad. Like for example New Game Plus, where all you have to do is play through the story, not worry about dying or getting to a specific point in the story. The next one is timing or speedrun trophies. When it comes to being timed for trophies, I don't like it. It's when I'm rushed I do a lot of mistakes, and while being timed you don't want to make mistakes, so run down the time. Also when being up against the clock I'll forget what to do in areas, costing me valuable time. There's 2 types of speedruns. There's the mission speedrun or complete the whole story speedrun. By far the latter is the hardest because you have to spend multiple hours at it and have the possibility of restarting the whole game because you missed a deadline by a couple of minutes. In my platinum collection I would have done one story speedrun, and that game was called Stray, where you have to complete the game within 2 hours. Fortunately for me it wasn't that hard since it's a short game to begin with, only lasting 5 hours, and if you remember what to do you'll make it even easier. When it comes to mission speedruns I don't really mind them as much because they usually are short to do and you can repeat them over and over again until you get it, like how Uncharted does it where you have to put 3 missions in the speedrun time. In general I like to have a trophy list with any time related trophies. It can be somewhat difficult for me depending on what the requirements are for a trophy, and I don't like repeating missions or stories as well. The final one is 100% trophies. Now I do want to say that I don't really mind these as long as I don't have to do many things like pick up over 400 collectibles or complete every side mission in the game. One game where it's 100% trophy was too much and it's Batman Arkham Knight, or you could even say Arkham City as well, but I'm going to go for Knight because I think it's a little bit harder. To get to 100% you need to complete the story and do all side missions as well. From the outside in that may look like it's nothing really, but once you realise you have to do other missions which will make you collect over 243 trophies to be able to complete the mission.
Oh no, no.
And the rest of the missions aren't that bad. It's mainly the rally mission that make it kinda annoying to get. Also, do want to say this as well, the map in Arkham Knight is really big, so to go around it to get all the other trophies make us worse than City's 100% trophy in my opinion. Other than that, this is the most annoying 100% trophy they've ever done. However, that will change soon because I'm going for the GTA 5 Platinum as I said earlier, and it makes you go for the 100%, which will be much worse than Arkham Knight without a shadow of doubt. That's the video for today. If you enjoyed it, want more videos like it, subscribe to the channel and also give your opinions in the comments below as I want to see if you agree or disagree with me, and with that out of the way, I'll see you next video.